Trails of Life 102. Flies. Right, the sun is out. I'm back from my movie weekend with Phil, and this is the first episode since then. So if you're new and you found me from watching me film, I'm gonna lull you in right to the other end of the scale. Go from really epic weekend adventure to basically where I first started. So 90% of my rides are like this basically. I don't do a lot. I don't see a lot of cool things. I kind of just plod along, talk to myself, moan a little bit, and get on with it. But how can I know a moment sun's out like this? Ugh. It's right good. Butterfly, go on, that's it, road. Basically, the reason I'm going to the complete opposite end of the scale is because I've been a bit in my own head about where I'm gonna like take the the episodes and what I'm gonna do next. Like I've done this epic hour-and-a-half long thing, and then whoa, when I get back I'm gonna have to go to this bike park, or I'm gonna have to do this, and I'm gonna have to do this. And I've been winding myself up a little bit. And then I just thought, you know what? There's no point. This is all about just getting outside, looking at stuff, get a bit of fresh air, a bit of exercise. Now sun's out, obviously some beer. Even when sun's not out, we usually have beer, but yeah. So if you are new and you quite enjoyed that film, you thought, you know what? I'll see what his next one's about. Well, I'm going that far from what the film is, that far away, back to grounded bit of nothing, just cruising and not doing out. Another reason why I wanted to come here is I've got a polarizing light filter on my lens finally. So if you're a bit of a tech nerd or whatever, hopefully, if I just in fact I'll just get a test now. So it should, when I turn this dial, remove the reflections in the water like that, pretty much. That's without. That's with. So not a massive difference, but I'm hoping that it will add a little bit of something to the quality. See, one little investment at a time. And I know I've only biked 25 seconds, but I'm going to find somewhere to sit and have a beer. Very, very nice. Oh my days. Hey up. That's brave, isn't it? Right on waterside. Look at that. Never seen anything like it right on the edge of water. I'm absolutely cooking. I've hardly been out long. Anyway, that is my next conquer to do on this bike. There's a bit of a lip and it's quite scary. I want to go to the top and show you, but I'm not doing it today. I've rode past it 4 or 5 times since Jess told me about it, and I've been like, I don't think I'm there yet. And I'm going to go to the end while there's nobody here, and I guarantee someone's going to walk around that corner and I'm going to get forced to do it. I'm a sucker for peer pressure. All right, look. So it's not quite 90 degrees. It's like, well, it's not much more than 45, but just from here, because there's that bump, it's pretty. Oh my God, I told you, didn't I? Yep. Oh, I'll go left, go on. Cheers. Knew it. I had to move quickly then because I look like a, chicken. Anyway, I am a chicken, I'm not bothered. So yeah, back to my point. My main point is I get distracted a lot and I end up starting a conversation and not finishing it. And when I edit the video, I'm like, I never actually finished that point. But my point is, my episodes generally are not really much like the film. But if you did enjoy it, which I very, very, very much did, it was very painful and very exhausting and took a lot out of me. Both on my tolerance of Phil, my patience generally for weather and just things going wrong, bike tech in general. But it was really good, and just when I finished it and watched it, I was like, you know what, I can't wait to do this again. So I think that's my format for the foreseeable future. I'll just stick with 2 episodes, short ones like this, talk a load of rubbish, see what there is to see, go for some beers, go for some coffee, trek around Yorkshire or beyond if I can, and then every now and again I'll do a movie, an hour and a half special. I'll do quite a bit of planning, see how daft it can get. Got quite a few ideas. It'll not always be as extravagant as that. It might just be an extra long day of riding or something, but there's too much content to just cut down to half an hour. Super content. Anyway, I've just released the deleted scenes episode this morning, so I edited that in probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half last night. I just thought, you know what, I've done almost a full year doing 2 episodes a week, and I can't, when it's 1 week before, fail. You know what I mean? So I want a full 365 day of solid statistics, and I think it'll make me very happy. Right, although today's quite a regular, simple one, I do think I've got quite a bit to talk about actually. So it has been a week and a half since I filmed. No, a week and a half. So quite a lot's gone on since then actually. The main thing being, I went out on a ride, when were it? It might have been Sunday with Jess, which I know sounds daft considering what I'd just come back from. No, it was Monday, it was Bank Holiday Monday, or something like that anyway. We did quite a nice trek, did a lot of Transpennine Trail and stuff, but what wasn't nice was I explored a new bit of downhill territory on my bike. Only local to me, it weren't particularly technical or anything, but it was some quite jumpy bits, and my crank fell off, my left pedal. Well, my left entire crank, not just the pedal. Completely dropped off, and bear in mind I was going pretty quick, and I started to panic a little bit, but managed to not fall off and die. Not quite Stairmaster yet. So yeah, crank fell off, but luckily I were only, I don't know, 3-minute ride from closest bike shop to me. So I managed to just pop my way up, and the guys there helped me out, which were really nice. So that made me happy. So I've got all new crank ordered and stuff like that, and I'm looking forward to next part really. They're shortened anyway, so. So I've not actually talked about my route today. So this is my old regular, which is just a lap around the outskirts of Barnsley. Yeah, it's just a nice ride and it's a nice day, and just to kind of bring me back to earth really. 21 degrees today, 21. Madness, absolute madness. So like I've said 100 times, nothing overly ambitious today. It is very much just a cruise and you know, easing back into reality. Simple ponds, Transpennine Trail, a little bit of road that I'm going to try and ignore. Steady away. If you can hear that horrible crack coming from my bike, that's either residue from the crank falling off and it's still creaking, or something needs loosening and re-greasing, because it's not on. But it's not to the point where it's unrideable. There was one point when I first got it, and every movement, like left to right, like creak, creak, creak. Apparently it's a well-known thing with the Cube hybrids, so I'll just get re-greased anyway. I'm booked in at shop. Got my new cranks ordered, which are 155 mil, as opposed to, I think these that come standard with this bike, something daft like 210. So that's something mental in here. They're way too long. So I'm getting pedal strikes all the time. So hopefully that'll be the end of that. So if anyone's seen the episode where I go to Deffer Wood, this is the bit of path that I started that episode on. For some reason, that's my best performing one. The first one to hit 1,000 views. I've never seen it like it. I did absolutely nothing different to every other episode, yet that one absolutely blew up. I've gone from getting like 100, maybe 150 in a go, and then that one's just gone like, I kept refreshing it for that day, and it went like 400, 450, 500, 600, 750, and then it stopped at about 900. And over the last couple of weeks, it's just steadily trickled to 1,000, so I'm happy about that. First one to hit a K, nice. Hopefully many more to come. My movie seems to be doing pretty well. That's nearly at 500. It's only been out 3 days. Oh, yeah, very happy. I've officially passed the halfway mark for me subs and watch hours target. So everything's in the right direction by the looks of it. So my plan with the movie is, once someone picks my series up, which is absolutely going to happen, you know, I'm gonna get a phone call from BBC like, yo, I've heard about this epic Trails of Life journey. We want to refresh you for a 1,000-long season. That's my next 10 years sorted. Nice. Obviously not. So what really probably will happen is I'll start burning DVDs on my computer, and then someone will buy a car boot and go, oh, it's all right, this. They'll send me an angry message saying, oi, an hour and a half ain't long enough. I rate like this, so make it a bit longer. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake. And then I'll have to basically slide back in all the deleted scenes from my episode this morning, deleted scenes special, and make a Peter Jackson extended film. Nice one. To be fair, there was something like 12 hours of footage on each camera, and an extra 6 or something on mine, on the inbuilt hard drive, so it was so much. Good ride though, and thanks again to Phil for joining me. Even though you moaned the entire time and absolutely did my head in from beginning to end, it was still pretty cool. And don't think just because you came with me and you've watched that one, you don't have to go back and watch the ones you missed. Arsehole. Oh dear. If nobody got the joke right at the beginning, that would mainly just for him. And anyone that kind of remembers that episode. So the last time that Phil joined me on one, I tricked him. We did a bit of a night ride, and we started at, I think, about 9 PM or 10 PM. I met him at the pub, pitch black, and we rode up one of the steepest hills in our town. But he had no idea, so I kind of like slowly bringing him that way, and he's just in the background on the other mic like, Josh, where are we going? Where are we going? And he got to the top and he was like, I hate you, I'm never speaking to you again. And then ironically, that's when he stopped watching the channel, so maybe it did stick. So, yeah, sorry Phil. And then he gets in the car at the beginning of the film and says, I'm surprised you're a lucky man. After our bills, I'm never going to talk to you again, or whatever he says. So yeah, that's a bit of context for that one, for anybody who even remotely cares. All in all, I don't think there were that many plot holes, other than the ones that win gin and Pop-Tart, and then I think in the deleted scenes I've kind of answered most of them. The other one being, why haven't you got a spare chain link and chain tool? Do you want to know the real reason? I didn't think I'd need one. I just had a brand new chain, a brand new cassette, everything tuned, all this kind of shit, and I thought, you know what, my bike's gonna be absolutely perfect. I just forgot one fatal flaw, and that's you can't trust Phil. We hoped, because he's just walking, talking shite destruction. So yeah, thanks Phil. So I think I've made another huge mistake. So that day that me and Jess went out riding, it was about 6 p.m. when the sun went down or something like that, and I ended up having to buy a coat because it had gone from absolutely scorching hot. That was dangerous, wasn't it? It had gone from absolutely scorching hot to sun going down and me freezing to death. It's a good job I was paying attention then, really, because I'd have been off. Yeah, and I had to ride Sports Direct and buy a jacket, like a big woolly thing, because I was shivering to the bone. And it kind of ruined the ride a little bit, but we still had a good laugh. Only went to Maison de Beer and back. A bit of bank holiday beverages and whatnot. So yeah, I keep diverting my thoughts because I think I've got so much running around in me at the minute. But yeah, new crank's ordered by Bike Shop Guy. I'm taking it through one day this week, hopefully. And that's going to get replaced with a shorter crank that's designed for this bike. The one that comes standard is just not good. Way too long, way too difficult. I'm also going to get all this creaking and stuff sorted and re-greased and whatever. It's just mad. I don't know why, but I was just so stupid to think that maybe you just get something and it'd be, if anything, it'd be less maintenance than the shitty bike that I had before. That seemed to like run for 1,000 miles and then you'd like, oh, one thing would break, sound. And you kind of just sort everything and then carry on for another 1,000 miles. I've done 400 and odd and it's been in shop more times than I've been at. But if that's the price of happiness, then I'm gonna stick with it. So this lap that I'm doing today, it's my good old Tarn lap. I've talked about it a little bit, but the villages and stuff we're going to, maybe a couple of pubs depending on what time I've got. I just thought maybe I'd go back to the route that I used to do when I first started. I don't think I've even done it on this bike, which blows my mind really. I thought it would have been one of the first things that I did. It's nice. To be fair, there's a bit too much road, but I can deal with it. The plan is I'm going to meet Ash. My brain ain't working. You know why it's not working? Because I can't sleep. The plan is I'm going to ride to the Ash Inn. It's a pub not too far from where I live, and it's reopened recently with new owners, and they're really lovely. And I'm going to go and meet Jessica for a drink. So that's my plan, my evening plan. Same link as always. In fact, I'll even show you the bit of track that I did, because I'll be going past where my crank fell off. So there we go. There's actually a point to this ride. I'll show you when my crank fell off, and I'll do the actual route but backwards, which could be quite fun, because it were a little bit dangerous to be fair, and it'll definitely work up a sweat, I'll tell you that. Some of it was shocking. Right, a little bit of road now, and this is pretty much the worst bit of the entire ride. It goes on forever, and it's all right, but if you do it the other way, and you get to come down all this hill, it absolutely goes on, and it's so sick. But like always, I've gone the wrong way. Now the question is, do I stop for a pint here, or do I just progress? I think I might do, you know. It's not a bad little stop, depending on what they've got on tap at the time anyway. Go on then, we'll have a swift half. Why not? Prepare us for this never-ending hill up here. Gets us away from all cars and shit for 10 minutes, doesn't it? Crown and anchor. So I planned to come in here to get away from road and, well, road and cars, and what I'm sat with, bloody hell. Outside we're completely rammed. Yeah, no look at all. Swift in here and then we'll get on his way. So I do realise there'd be quite a lot of contrast between my episode with Phil and my episode like on myself, or really with anybody. It's a lot easier to gel and have conversation, and I assume it's a lot easier watching as well when you can actually see people talking and you've got a bit of back and forth and whatnot. Just wait for these 15,000 cars to pass. So with me it's kind of just, well, far enough in now. If you've watched before you know, but if you are new and whatnot, then I just kind of moan and I talk and look at stuff. I don't know, there's a wall there. When was that built? No idea. There we go, that's about as interesting as it gets. So I had a thought the other day as well, talking to Jess about it, like because summer kind of just happened, and it was like my first summer ever really, where I've actually cared about being indoors and enjoying the light and doing all that kind of stuff, because that's what biking's done for me. I just thought about how I went to Sherwood Pines and managed to finish work, drive to Sherwood, which is an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours, and then do 2 hours of riding. It was just sick. So if I can do all that again, then you know, finish work at whatever time, and then I've still got, you know, 4 or 5 hours to just rummage around, and it's still sort of light by like 9-10 o'clock. I mean, it's dark, but it's not unbearable riding. And that's, to me, that'll mean more than out. Just not being super limited to 1 day a week and having to cram a shitty dinner time riding. Having to rush is what takes away all the joy for me. You know, thinking, oh God, I've only got a dinner break to ride, so try and get somewhere as fast as possible, burn, and try to talk as much as possible, and it all just becomes muddled and not what I want to do. And then weekend comes around, and obviously people have got lives and people have got things they need to do and family and stuff, so you can't always be biking. So I just find myself in a really hard spot sometimes, trying to weigh up everything. But the value that I get from biking in all the aspects that I talked about earlier, it's just, to me, it seems it's just worth it in every way. So if you are thinking about it, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I want to get that bike back out again, I ain't been on it in ages, or oh, I can't, you know, if you want an electric one but you can't afford one, the one that I started on was so cheap. People sell them in the Carrera group on Facebook for like 250 quid. You know, if you can just put a little bit in a jar for a couple of months or whatever, a few months, borrow it from family, I don't chuffing know. But the amount of value you'll get from it is life-changing, so do it. Enjoy. Perfect timing. Cheers. No worries, thank you so much. Oh dear. Do you think that horse behind that other horse is just like, oh Gary, come on, Gary, you're shitting right in my face, bloody hell. Oh, I named it Gary. Right. So I should be turning left here to go and find Jess, but I'm detouring. I'm turning right, and I'm going to show you exactly where I went with my little pedal drop, and in fact, if I'm right bit, I'll be able to do it all. So a slight change of plan. I did think about going that way to the end and kind of coming backwards on myself. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go up this hill. And this is basically exactly what I did the other day, and my crank fell off. So it falls off again. It's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, up here through all this foresty stuff, just off the TPT, and then I'm going to finish at the bottom. So nice bit to end on. Hopefully. Let's go. Come on, crank, don't fail me now. Whee. This is not a... I have to... Don't want to fall off. I don't mind taking my time, but I don't want to fall off. Okay, I fell off. I did it in one, believe, I know you're not going to believe me, but I did do it in one the other day. I got right to the top. Oh, embarrassing. Drone is definitely not going to do this without crashing, because there's a bit where I've got to veer off the road, unless it's dried up. We'll see. I don't look too bad, actually. Go on, we'll give it a go. Yeah, it's okay. It was really boggy the other day. Yep. There's some guy making like a den at the top of this hill. It's pretty cool. Ah, my legs. Right, last little bit. Let's enjoy this. Last bit, okay. This takes us back to TPT. And it's pint time. This is where I did some jumps down here like this. Only little ones, I mean, it weren't ridiculous, but it must have just been enough to upset the crank basically with my weight, or I don't know what it were, but I think I did that jump there. Whoa! Yep. Right, so yeah, this is the end of this one. It's been very different to the last few. Hopefully you still stuck around to the end, because I really enjoyed it. Got a lot more stuff to do this year. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm into it. I love biking. I love the channel, and I love doing all this stuff. So yeah, take care, guys, and hopefully have a cracking good one. Bye.